You're terrible, uncensored radio.
Today, an Aussie comedy icon stops in for a chat.
I can't believe I'm here!
Gabby Millgate, star of Frontal and Muriel's Wedding, talks to us about her comedy career, what it takes to make iconic characters, behind the scenes of 90s Aussie TV, and how her work in the entertainment industry prepared her for what she's doing now.
This is the show! Isn't this the show?
Don't you dare miss Gabby Millgate on Uncensored Radio.
Help me, oh, be one. You're my only hope.
G'day, Australian Uncensored Radio fans. Welcome to a very special episode. As you can see, today I have two Aussies here with me. I've got Luke and the lovely Brooke. But we have a super special guest joining us today. We have an Aussie comedy icon. I cannot stress enough, icon. Ladies and gentlemen, Gabby Millgate is in the house. Oh wait, should I say Gabby Millgate is in the house? Oh!
Yes.
How are you? He's back.
The sensible lady part.
Oh, sensible lady. We love a sensible lady. How are you today or this evening?
I'm really well. I was going to come into camera like this and go, "You're terrible, Luke." But
you just made me Christmas, babes.
I have to do like personalized. You should get on. You should get on. What's it called? What's that called?
Cameo.
You should get on Cameo.
That is such a good idea, which is why I did it a year and a bit ago.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know these things. I'm
late to the party, Steve.
I found Luke called Google. Have you seen that? It's amazing. You ask it a question.
Modern technology today, there's kids and they've got newfangled wireless machines.
That's
crazy.
Yes, that's right, Steve.
It's very.
What are you doing with your finger on your chin like you're a current affair reporter listening to an old lady?
There you are, mate.
I'm hiding my chins.
Oh, is that everyone does?
Everyone's doing these ones now. All the kids do it. All the kids doing it.
Can we just do a still real quick of that one? Beautiful.
We are cute. We are gorgeous.
I think I look like, and this is hello.
I know, it's like the before and after of, what life does to us all. So we are super excited for Gabby to be joining us today. Gabby, you have three very excited people actually, because we are of an age. We are the elder millennials, so we grew up with you on our TV screens, and
I know when being on TV was a thing.
when Australian TV used to produce like Australian TV and not just reality shows. The shock, the horror of it all.
Stop it. Gabby was on a reality show. Leave her alone.
We are going to talk about that. We are going to talk about that. I have some questions.
All right.
But can you tell our audience how did you get started? What were you like, one of these kids that were look at me, or were you a shy little munchkin? What kind of kid was Gabby?
I can't cope, Gabby.
I was a lonely child.
Oh.
No, my dad always liked playing pranks. And so from an early age, he made me weird. And so, because he just found everything funny and was always cracking jokes and yeah, I suppose I was just weird and I was okay with that. I found ways to be okay with it, like when you go through that awkward phase when you're 14. But luckily, I had a best friend since 4th grade who is also weird with me.
Oh, yay.
She's my flatmate.
Twinning. That's good. But were you involved in drama and all that kind of stuff at school, or were you the kind of kid that just kind of sat there and hoped no one would pay attention to you? Like, oh.
For a 6th grade play, they were doing Jonah Man Jazz, and I went into the audition and said, I'm here for the role of Jonah. And they said, oh, we want to try for the role of God. And I went, all right, I'll read God, but I want to be Jonah.
very, very specific ideas of the typecasting. I will only be the creator of everything. You know, that's not what I want. I want to be Jonah. That's amazing.
Stop! Citizens of Nineveh, amend your wicked ways.
I love it. The dramatic line readings you can get away with when you're a child too. You're like, I can take this production wherever I want to go. It's happening. Now,
I'm sorry.
No, I actually like it, Brooke. I like to go, oh, I don't like, oh yeah, I like that. I like that.
It's like,
Look,
how Tracy Grimshaw sits with her table up around her neck. So she's like, I'm Tracy Grimshaw, slowly disappearing behind the desk. So we can't see Tracy.
Leave Tracy alive, mate.
Shorter.
It's all about the illusion, Gabby. The illusion that I have one chin. It's fine.
Just the angles.
I must give the public what they like.
Chins are coming back in, like asses have had their day, I think.
I feel like that is a thing. Yeah.
Shoulder fat is back.
I'm like, my top arms rule this year.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a song about that though?
Own it like Lizzo.
Really?
Back,
is there a
back,
shop?
back. All right.
Oh my god. Oh, I love that. Why is that not my theme song?
I don't know. You should record it. So, Gabby,
I really should.
Did you have professional training before you got into? Yeah, talk to us a little bit about that.
Theatre sports.
Of course.
Yeah, I went to Sydney Uni, and instead of doing lectures, I did plays and theatre sports, and played professionally with the Sydney outfit, and that's where Julia Zamiro and Adam Spencer came out of.
Yes.
Some real legends came from that group of people.
You've been yes-anding yourself to death like no one's business.
That's right.
Yes,
and I'm getting in a rocket ship to Mars.
Space jump. I love it.
Eddie Murphy, what are you doing here?
So touch me there.
Touch me here.
Bill Cosby, no.
Totally unprepared.
It's like trampolining with you guys. Comedy trampolines, you are.
Oh yeah, we get a bit excited sometimes.
I prefer to be a comedy tramp, but that's okay. It's fine.
A comedy tramp. Yeah, I love that song. Yeah, Lady is a Tramp. Yes, sorry, save questions.
It's all right. No, it's all good. It's all good.
No, it's all right. It's under control.
Was comedy always the dream?
I just love comedy.
Be a serious actress.
Oh no, I was just like shocked as everybody that I got that role in Muriel's wedding. It was kind of about. I had just the right amount of low self-esteem and no confidence the role needed.
Did you have comedy icons growing up? Like, did you have people that you're like, they're the shining stars?
And people I got to work with, like Kim Gingell from the Comedy Company.
Yes.
Like standing there with him about to go and do a sketch was like, phew. Then I worked with Magda Skabansky.
Mag.
Oh yeah, do you know of her?
Oh no, I never heard of her.
A little bit. So yeah, I
real quick on old Mags though, because she was obviously, the wife in Babe. You're credited in Babe as
yeah.
So you're in.
Yeah, no, I've got
How did that happen, Bubs? How did all that come about?
Oh, well, when you get in a movie like Muriel's Wedding, you get an agent. When you get an agent, you get opportunities to meet celebrities and go to the Logies.
Oh.
The Australia's night of who's doing what in the toilets.
Oh, I did that once. I walked into the toilets. I went, "Stop doing cocaine!" Flush, 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 flush.
And the cast of
Was
neighbours
George
ran
Michael in
away.
there, Bubs? Was George Michael in there?
No, George. No, he's working down the street at a park down the street. Trans too classy.
Oh my God, Gabby, were you in the full? You were in the Full Frontal skit where you're like, "Oh, George Michael, he's such a ladies' man," and then it's just like back in the 80s.
Am I in the future?
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
bitches.
Yeah, so and also like lots of ABC stuff, like what is it? Doug Anthony All Stars.
Yes, Australian. Let's speak of legends of comedy. Hello. Their documentary was great. Actually, I watched that. It was on late night a couple of weeks ago. I was like glued. Doug Anthony All Stars, my life.
Yeah, and I got to do like game shows and panel shows and Good News Week, and I was just inside my television. That's what it felt like, because everybody else who was there had like kind of struggled and strived and schmoozed to get where they were, but I felt like I'd just been helicoptered into television land, and I was just going around poking them, going, "Oh, you're real."
I wonder if Noni Hazelhurst will cry if I punch her.
Well, actually,
wait.
I did goose Nicola Charles, who wore a $1 million dress to the Logies on stage because she presented our awards. And so I just goosed her, and she goes, "Ooh." Then meanwhile,
with Carl Kennedy.
meanwhile, back at Erinsborough, Toadie's taking me on a tour of backstage, and she goes, "You ruined my whole night. You ruined my whole night. Get out, get out." So I'm a really bad person. I'm so sorry, everyone.
Wait, she was legitimately upset.
Yeah, I said, "What, did it leave a little poo mark?" Sorry.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I got a little bit of poo on your $8 million diamond dress, but it wasn't my fault.
Oh.
A bit upsetting. Like, have a sense of humor. You're a neighbours actor. Come on, have a sense of
She'll
humor.
be all right. The show's ending now. She'll be okay.
Oh, she's standing there going, "I made it. I'm here. I'm in Neighbours, and I'm here."
A strange comedian, ladies, just touched the rectum.
Sorry.
Nice. Nice when celebrities reach out and touch.
I couldn't have done it
Wait,
off
I'm gonna
stage because she had a bodyguard. Because she was in an $8 million diamond dress. So, you know what I should have done? Oh my God, I should have just grabbed some diamonds.
Oh, you would have got tased on stage, Bubs. That would have been iconic. Speaking of going viral.
Perfect heist in front of Australia.
I know.
It wasn't
Move
me,
over,
it was
Chappelle.
Magda.
No, you're mistaking me from someone else. Yeah.
It wasn't me, it was the other one. It was Kitty Flanagan. I saw her.
Yes, and I am Kitty Flanagan. You're the one you want over there.
Look at how dry and sarcastic I am. Oh, we love Kitty. I thought one of the funniest nights of my life was watching Kitty Flanagan in a packed RSL, sitting right at the back, and she was insane. Like, we'll talk more about the cast of your show in a bit, but we have to talk about Muriel's Wedding because, hello. Who else here has been in an internationally famous movie? Not me.
Not me.
Well, I'm sure I've been in a video that's been watched by a lot of people internationally.
Really?
I don't think they know my name, though.
Are you a cat? Luke, are you a cat? Do you identify as cat?
No, I think it's
Okay.
on Pornhub actually.
Yeah,
Are you a cute little kitty?
Yeah.
Do you identify as a cute little kitty?
Yeah.
You just woke up.
Pussycats go meow meow.
Oh, and then butterfly in a bubble. I would watch that.
This is Theatre Sports Live, where you're
I was going
standing
to
out
say,
waiting
I'm
for
being
the interview.
coached here.
I
I'm
love
going
it.
on OnlyFans tonight.
Yeah.
I feel like
My
I'm
manager's
I'm
Gabby.
back at school
I was like,
doing
your
playing
next
drama games.
Pornhub's gonna be epic.
So let's talk about Jodie. God love Jodie.
Yes,
So-
that's who I do on Cameo.
That's the cameo. She's
Yeah,
terrible.
so-
Actually,
Tell everyone it's
Our
terrible.
boss right now, Jeff's really cranky and sad and depressed. Can you do
Yeah.
your terrible Jeff just for him?
Yeah, $70 into my account. And it's
Yeah,
yours.
righto, bub. Righto. I just got me tax return. It's coming, Joni.
you. I get paid less than a bus driver most weeks.
I know, right? But Jodie, so how did we fall into
Jodie.
the part of Jodie?
Not Jodie.
Well, if you refer to my previous comments, I did say I had the right amount of low self-esteem.
Yeah, I did, but that was very self-deprecatingly obtuse of you.
No, it was accurate, Luke. Darling.
No, that's Steve. It's Steve, bub.
One of the
Oh,
Australians.
sorry, Steve.
Obviously,
That's all right.
I'm
Wolf
looking at
can-
myself. Put it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. I
But
gotta blow
walking
my
into
nose.
Muriel's wedding,
Excuse me, I got to blow
you
my
guys
nose.
had.
She's been hanging out with the neighbours cast too long.
Like,
Maybe.
No,
Oh,
I haven't. I deny
She's
that.
back.
Oh, leave Kylie alone, guys. Come on.
Kylie's made a comeback. Don't even talk to her. She can't. Do that.
No, I think it's the other way round, Luke. Luke, I think it's the other way round.
All I was going to say, mate, was coming on. Wait, I'm losing my shit. Coming into Muriel's wedding, though, did you guys have any idea that this movie was ever going to be what it was?
The casting director did. She went, "This is going to be big," and I'm like, "Okay."
Okay.
Yeah, whatever, bitch. Sure.
Okay.
You've got to look at.
I can't believe I'm here.
Yeah, the Australian film industry at the
Hope
time.
I don't
was
do
not
it wrong.
anything huge. Like this movie really opened doors for us and gave Australia a voice in the cinematic landscape. And you're like, well, yeah, I'm iconic. What of it?
Yeah,
I mean, how
exactly.
how do you factor in, like,
Go on.
you worked with Tony Collette,
Yeah, I
Bill
did.
Hunter,
Yeah, absolutely.
Jeannie Dryden, like they were your
Fabulous,
parents. and
fabulous
siblings.
people. Yes, absolutely, I did. Yes,
But how was
Luke.
that family?
I'm trying to keep this shit
Family
together.
Have you
creation.
been Googling me, Luke? Luke, tell me the truth. Yeah, I'm covering
you
up
been-
my chin so I don't scare you.
Well, Gabby, you're actually talking to Steve right now, bub.
All right,
So I'm worried for you.
No, I'm
Have you ever
talking to
tried-
you, Luke.
she's talking
Oh,
to you,
me?
bub.
Oh, you thought I prepped this? No, Steve does all the hard work.
I do the hard work. These two are the
now,
I'm
now
not the
Luke's
mentalist.
We're the
losing
ringing.
shit. Gabby's
I'm the-
losing her shit. Great.
I'm the lead Kardashian. These two are the sturgeons that cling to me.
I was like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
poor
excuse
things.
me?
Stevel.
Right. Very
No,
hard.
like,
Stevel
wow.
Knievel.
But everyone was. It looked. These
Look at him.
two-
He's
I'm-
trying to
I'm
keep the
rolling
show
with it.
rolling. Look at him.
I'm rolling.
Look.
With
No,
it.
this is the show. Isn't this the show?
Yeah, I'm rolling with it. I can roll
Oh, sorry,
with that.
go.
But these people,
I need
I
to
think
get
that the reason it translates so much is that you know this family. Like, you've seen this family on the block before, right? Was that fun to play? Like, play with them and go, I'm just going to be Joni, living my life.
Was
I'm gonna go
playing
this
with
way.
them part of your contract?
Excuse me, what?
She's awake
Brooke
again.
Brooke asked me a question. Go, Brooke.
Yeah.
Go,
Go,
Brooke.
Brooke.
Get it
Well,
in there. Go.
Steve?
Cover your chin.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm ready
Keep
now.
it together.
Go.
Gabby, was
Yes, I'm
playing
listening.
with them part of your contract?
Was
Steve just
playing
asked
with
what it was like to play with them.
play
And
with
I
who?
wondered, was that
The
like
cast.
an added
I was
bonus?
I just meant informing those relationships. Was that
Oh no, like Bill Hunter's method of acting is you want me to stand where and say what?
Oh, I
And
love it.
That's what he was going to call his autobiography. He told me. He also told me, what is the difference between a meat pie and an Australian movie? A meat pie doesn't have Bill Hunter in it. What a legend.
That should have been the autobiography title.
It is, well, he
It's
was
longer.
writing one. I don't know what's become of it.
I don't know what's
They're working
become
on
of
the
it.
title. Fine.
Meat pie. Just call it meat pie.
No, don't call it that.
Don't call it that.
That's going to be my OnlyFans account, Meat Pie.
Dropped meat pie. Oh, he resembles a dropped meat pie. That's not nice. It's not nice.
Drop me.
Now,
Oh,
yeah, there we go.
Oh,
Got one through the keeper. The line that is, thrown at you, I'm sure, everywhere you go.
Yes, well, it's just that I'm really good at everything I do.
Of
And
course.
so when I said the line, I was just really good at it. And everybody loved it and wanted me to say it for the next 25 years because it was that good.
It was
It
that
was
good.
it was like I was pouring gold into their ears. It was like I was filling a hole even they didn't know was empty.
Oh, the zeitgeist flew from you.
No, well, it emerged from me.
Oh,
I was cracked open like a chrysalis.
oh.
And a butterfly emerged.
A butterfly of comedy
It did.
gold emerged.
Or like
Yes.
a weird cicada, but that's okay.
Oh, yes, definitely a cicada that everyone wished would go away.
The silence of the lambs of comedy, cheers, ladies and gentlemen.
Puts the lotion on its very dry hand.
Oh, I
So
thought you were
should
going to go for the
Nivea
other line. Then I was like, oh shit, Gabby, no. You know when he's in the mirror?
She needs to get that Nivea advert. It puts
Yes.
the lotion, it's very dry.
Yes, I'm in
Nivea.
negotiations.
His dress is a death's head moth. It puts the lotion on its dry hand.
Hang on.
G'day, Dale. I am Trudy.
She's reenacting the country practice finale.
Luke's gone. Let's interview the tinsel. So, tinsel, what do you feel like being behind the man behind the success of this
What do you feel
podcast?
like about being the $2 shop decoration behind the man behind the couch behind the lamp?
Did you think when you were in that plastic wrapping that he's back? Okay, shh.
I'd like to ignore him, David, but isn't he just you?
We are very,
I know you're
very
there,
normal.
Gabby.
What?
She's tending to her fire.
Oh,
Mhm. Yes,
he's
go
stoking the fire.
Yeah, she's reenacting the country practice finale. I said that. Burning down the whole town. Just like, I've got to end this show somehow. Let's burn everyone down. I should do that with more shows.
What?
Neighbours.
Neighbours, burn the whole
Oh,
street
rip.
down.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Neighbours. Homeway can't be that far off, though, can it?
Charlene pours petrol on all
I
of us.
always thought
That's
Home and Away would have had
right.
its like dying breaths far long before Neighbours kicked it. But there you go.
But why would you live in one of those? Why would you live in one of those towns? There's earthquakes, there's tidal waves, there's flash floods, there's serial killers, there's rapists. Just move to the next postcode.
Oh,
Why
not
would you
home
live
and away,
there?
because that's
They
their
don't want
voice
you
for
there.
that, and they're mean.
The insurance, they don't want you on the North Shore. Get away.
They don't
That
want you
Hewitt
there.
don't want to know you anymore.
They don't. They don't. Well, sketch comedy gold is what we,
I love that you love it.
know you for delivering. And you joined the cast, of course, of Full Frontal. What was that audition process? What did they go? We love you. We want you.
I think Doug McLeod, the producer and the person I ended up writing with a lot, I think he'd seen Muriel's and was a fan. And I think they were just looking for the next funny fat girl. And I was that. And there you go. And I'm in Melbourne and I'm walking around the set of Blue Healers and giving suggestions to the director and him going,
Another town where bad things happen to everyone. Why would you live in Mount Thomas?
It's a very low population too.
Rude.
So yeah, it was fun, hair and makeup. Look, I just love working in a team and being part of something fun, and you know, my playful side definitely was let loose, and I had financial freedom, and yeah, and just kind of got a chance to find myself.
Because did you guys all sort of, because it always felt like with Fast Forward and Full Frontal that the players created the sketches themselves. It wasn't really written for you. You were creating them yourselves. Was that how it rolled out?
No, there were writers and we were assigned parts, and those who, you know, wanted to, like Darren Gilshan and I, did Kathy Scanlon, which is one of my favourites.
We're going to talk about Kathy.
I love Kathy Scanlon so much.
Hi, I'm Kathy Scanlon.
Because she's got unjustified confidence. She's kind of like the opposite of me, really.
I can relate.
I'm like,
Yeah.
it's like I'm looking in a mirror.
Did you stepping into that cast? Did you feel like you were in the shadow of Fast Forward though, or did we like screw this? They're done.
No.
We're here.
I
mean, you guys had
fun.
you guys had a great amalgamation of like. It was like the comedy company of Fast Forward had this baby that was even more offensive, and it was great. I lived because I grew up on those shows that I wasn't supposed to watch. Mum was like, "You're not watching those," and Dad's like, "Come and watch." And then it hit the 90s. It was like, "Yes, it's my time."
Gabs, I want to know what kind of prep work you did to play the telly stubby.
I just endured being in the costume. Like a professional.
As someone who's been inside one of those costumes, that makes you want to drink copiously. Sweaty times.
Yeah, but Steve, it's interesting to hear you say that because I didn't know all that, what you just told me.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that had, you know, never had that feedback.
Sweatiness.
No, truly, I hadn't. So thank you.
There you go.
Now I know.
You can drink better tonight, babes.
I need to talk about my favourite character before anyone else keeps going.
Yeah, shut up,
Weevil.
Brooke.
Where did Weevil come from?
That's a good story. I love that story. So in between shows when I wasn't working, I was living in a share house in Darlinghurst, Sydney, Australia, and there was a kid down the road who would knock on the door and go, "Is Jason here?" And we go, no, Jason's not here. And he'd go, "Can I play PlayStation?" No. Why? Because last time you were here, you hit Jason in the head with a brick. All right. So it's a bit like that. And then just he turned into Weevil, and Julia Zamiro did it with me as Dexy. And yeah, he was so fun. And then to take him into the Big Brother house was like...
I was going to say, when you were Weevil, because you were always a character when you had to do nom-noms.
Let's not jump ahead to Big Brother yet. I still need to know more about Weevil.
Stephen.
Because you nailed teenage boys so well. Like, you nailed teenage boys. Anyone who knows that, anyone that's seen a teenage boy, you're like, that is what it is. I watched the one where you take ecstasy.
Yeah.
This afternoon. I can feel it. It's like, oh no. These kids.
Holy.
Holly, honey, Holly, 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 Holly.
I was like, what is that? It's just
Oh my god.
so good, so accurate. Like they're just dirty, like teenage boys. They're just gross, and I was like, every time I see Weevil, I'm like, that's amazing. You nailed that on the head.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Well, doing a character, you follow certain like computer programs. Is the best way to describe it. So it's a choice matrix, and then you go, well, what's surprising them? What are their drives? What would happen if? And then and then sometimes sketches arrive like a fax. That's something that we communicated with in the 80s. But a fax used to come through with writing on it, going, and would come out and you'd take it and you'd read it. And sometimes that's how sketches would happen, or I'd just discuss ideas with Darren and we'd write it together. So it was fun to do, and we made time between doing other sketches to write, and then other people would write with us or for us, or we'd partner up with another writer. It was just like you'd have an idea one week and then someone's made the set for it the next, and you're walking on and everybody's doing jobs for your idea. It was
and you guys had a lot of big popular characters in that show, between like yourself, Julia, Eric. Like there were these characters that even today, like people our age will still quote, and you're like, Full Frontal, hello. Yeah. It's like, what is that?
It's like when a dog sees a dog. You know about what I know?
I know. Let's go to disaster. Great. Yay!
Yeah.
But was there a sense of competition, or like a sense of urgency for some of the cast to find that character that broke through?
Oh no, it didn't feel like that, but there was definitely ambition in play, especially when I was a newbie. Like when first year I was on, we went to the Logies. I'm closing my eyes because I'm imagining it.
She's taking us back.
And we're all sitting at the table, and it was like, Glenn's giving the speech, everybody, Glenn's giving the speech. And one of the cast members turned to me and went, Glenn's giving the speech, all right? And I'm like, okay, Glenn's giving the speech.
We're like, wait, is Glenn giving speech? What?
Glenn's going to do the speech.
And then we won, and we're walking up, and this cast member is saying to me, I've got to get in front of you. I've got to get in front of you, while she was in front of me. And I'm like, you are in front of me. You are in front of me.
It's all right, Tal. Calm down.
Is she okay nowadays, though, Gabs?
Oh, thriving.
Oh, we can't tell you who it is.
I have a
sneaking suspicion. I know.
That'll be an after the show.
That'll be after the show conversation. But with Full Frontal, and totally Full Frontal, totally. Do you think a show like that could exist now?
Oh, it does, but it's dispersed onto TikToks and YouTube and your fling-flings and your bling-blongs.
Network television wouldn't touch it because they're scared of investments, right?
But this is a conversation we have on the show a lot.
They just can't get the audience that
we have
justifies
this conversation a lot.
$750,000 in 1990s money per episode, and that was when it was slashed. Like they had over $1 million budgets in the heydays, but
back when Gina was doing Cher.
And and they got the audiences for that, but because our media use has changed, they can't get the audience unless it's like a big event television now. So the only place you see it is on the ABC. Like just Sean McAuliffe, what a legend, and everyone who writes for them, and also the other one with Pickering, it's fantastic. Like it's just.
There is hope for the future. Like I look at like the catering show and stuff like that with the two Kates They're fantastic. They give me big, like, full frontal vibes. Those
Their
girls-
morning show, it's done
morning
me.
show, like stuff like that. That's super. You can tell that they're off the cuff. They've gone bing, bing, bing. Let's create these characters, and they play, and that's what's missing. I think, like that sense of play and adventure.
Well, it's not being handed to you anymore in exchange for you being a captive audience. Like, it's people who can't not do it, showing what they can do and sharing that and doing the same thing. So, no, it's not like it was in the old days, but now everybody can have a crack, which is like amazing. It's so.
I do miss
takes
it
the
being on
pressure
my
off
TV,
me,
though.
Yeah. You
I
can
miss it being
relax
on the
a bit
telly.
now, Bub.
I miss going, oh, look, I know that on a Thursday night I can sit down and watch these people make me laugh.
Yeah.
I miss that.
We take a perfectly ordinary shampoo, add vitamins, iron, and the goodness of bran.
All right, we've got to talk about it. Celebrity Big Brother.
Woo!
What the actual was this show? Like,
Oh my
what was
God.
this show? I'm looking back at the cast. Let's just go through the cast very quickly.
Wait. Can Gabby reveal her sources first?
Let's go through.
Yes.
Let's go through it first.
Yes,
because Gabby
I
came
will
in at day
reveal my
9.
sources.
Tomato and barbecue, darling. Dylan Lewis, Jay Lagaya, Kyle Sandland, Sarah Marie, Kimberly Cooper, Adriana Exenides, Warwick Cavett, Imogen Bailey, Anthony Mundine, Vanessa Wagner, and Red. Well, you didn't get to see Red because he pissed off before you came.
Yes, that's right. I gonged him off
He got
and
Hope
replaced
you got
him.
paid extra. Hope you got paid extra for that. Oh.
Yes,
Got
I
red
get paid
face.
as an extra.
So, what is the process of going into Celebrity Big Brother like? Because that was
Oh my God.
it back in the day. You were like there, Big Brother. Hello.
Yeah, like again, inside my television, inside the Big Brother house. So you watch it on the outside and you're watching Kyle and you're going, I do not like that man. I'm not going to get on with him. And you get in and you go, you are charming and delightful. I really like you. So it was like night and day. It was incredible. And Imogen Bailey and Weevil had a love story.
They did.
So I wanted to have all your classic Big Brother moments, like a cry in the toilet, talking to camera, alone.
A slight
And-
mental break, you know.
Yeah. With a
But
mental
this was back before they were
breakdown.
nice to people on the show. Like, this was actually like people could still watch you live, right? Like, just log into the camera and
Really?
stuff. And I
Yeah.
think
Did
I
that
could
happen?
back then.
Because they couldn't see you on the toilet, remember?
No.
They were like, no,
Yeah.
you won't
No,
see you on
they
the
gave the
toilet.
celebrities, they could wipe in private.
Oh, look, I was just tears
Watching
before.
all of it.
Tears before bedtime, tired like a kid who was playing with all these other amazing kids in a, an adult wonderland of, excitement in each other. It was, of course I'm going to cry because I can't get to sleep. I like my routine.
There's too much stimulation going on left, right, and center. You're like, oh.
Mm.
And you know you've
Yeah.
only got a certain amount of time too. So you're like, I've got to make it count. I'd be horrible in there. I'd be like, what can I do now? Like, what is there that I can do that I can say I've done in this house? Like, I'm going to lick this wall just because.
Mm.
Is me pouring water aggravating the situation?
Yeah, no one's
Adriana.
done that yet.
No, probably who knows what they've
Yeah.
done. It's so sanitized these days.
Everyone knows what they've done because they watch them on Big Brother. Steve, have you
Oh.
seen Big Brother, Steve?
This new
You've
one,
seen
yeah.
it.
But the new
Everyone
one's,
knows.
no, but the new one's very edited.
Yes.
The
Is
new
it?
one's so edited. Yeah.
Yeah, but you
It's very
still watch
produced
TV.
now.
You still watch TV, like it's like
Sometimes.
meeting somebody who still has a cart and a horse. It's lovely.
I thought I was coming back.
It's
I take them
quaint.
down to the to
rare.
the apothecary, and we get our leeches out, and it's a good time. We have a good time.
Whoa, yeah, great.
Whoa, man.
Please
So
be careful who you're
as Luke
sharing
said,
leeches with.
the nom-noms were probably one of the best parts.
Oh, the
Did you just come
nominations.
up-
I thought you meant the food. I'm going,
No. Your nom-noms.
the
love the
nominations,
character
yeah.
work.
You little nommies.
Oh, I'm glad some people remember it. I do.
Oh, I
But
love
tell me,
them.
what? I don't. I mean, if you trigger my memory, something might come up.
But
I
you
don't know what
did.
you're
You
talking
did
about.
nominate. You did nominate Gypsy from Home and Aways, didn't you?
Poor Kimberly.
Probably.
Yeah, I
She's
think you
easy.
did.
But she was easy to nominate. She's a cranky redhead. Nomination.
She saw
about you,
Warwick's.
'cause you're a
She
runner.
saw Warwick's wand nomination. You're out.
Well, we've
Well,
all
what a
seen Warwick's one now. He released a video, didn't he?
Well, it must have been a magic one because it made Kimberly disappear.
And it made Warwick disappear too, didn't it?
Well,
Bye,
see,
Warwick.
that's when I talk about, tears before bedtime. It actually crescendoed one night when I knew there was going to be trouble. Like we were laughing
You could
too
feel it.
much and having too much fun, and something's going to crack. And it's just, and then he comes out and goes, "Cop a load of this," and we're all like, "Oh, I'll be telling people this story forever."
What?
I think Luke's
that-
having a stroke.
I think
Luke,
Luke's
can you
either
come
died or his
home?
camera's frozen. Look at him.
Oh yeah, he looks like he's wearing Bob Down's hair. Are you wearing Bob Down's hair, Luke? Oh,
Hello,
darling.
Bob. Oh, boy.
This could be the start of something big.
Oh, yeah, obviously Luke died.
Oh, he's thrown the wine and stormed out.
Yeah, obviously. He's been watching Real Housewives.
Oh, no, we voted him out. You're out of this
Yeah.
podcast. Right.
Ouch. Be gone
who-
with you.
Who will be
He's
the last
Kimberly
remaining
Cooping
podcast?
himself
host?
out of the place.
Yeah, nice reference. You and I understand, and no one else.
I'm with you. So you
And
made
there's
it
a big
you made it to
population.
top 5. You made it to the top 5
Yeah.
in that show. So you were
It
nearly
was a
there.
beautiful thing.
Was a
Oh,
beautiful
look.
thing.
Oh, hey, you naive little viewers. It's all decided before.
We know that, but
um,
just,
I'm like,
you know.
so,
what? Are you sure? But I voted. This
yeah,
is awkward.
thank you. Thank you for your money. Look over there, but
Yeah, I know. Ignore Dylan Lewis.
TikTok's coming, quick.
And the irony that Dylan Lewis won a bloody another reality show last year. You're like, God,
Oh,
leave
but
some
he's
for the rest of us, Dylan.
He's one of the best humans on the planet. He
does seem like a
really,
decent-
really is. Like, to spend time with him was like, when the apostles spent time with Jesus, it was a bit like that.
Good night to you, sir.
I have to ask if they came back and said, "Hey, because this season of Big Brother has been past winners. If they did another Celebrity Big Brother and
Of
they
not
pulled
winners.
people- of people that have been on before, would you go back in
Oh, in a second.
in a second?
In a second. Oh my God, that is the one thing I would do. Like,
Who would
Steven
you take from
Spielberg.
the old cast in though, Gabs?
Oh God, who would I take with me?
Kyle.
Anthony Mundine?
Dylan.
Imogen Bailey.
Oh, yes,
that's
you can
nice.
finish the love story,
Yeah.
like the
Oh.
Notebook. That'd
Yeah,
be nice.
Oh my God, it would be so good to see them reunited. Oh my God, and she's had a baby since, and he wants to be its father. Has it got a father? He wants to know. Hello, darling.
Look at, you can tell you work with kids now. Hello, darling. Go away.
I
Yeah.
do. Oh, not at all. Not at
No,
all.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Well,
So
actually,
let's-
that's what we were going to talk to you about.
Yeah,
was
let's
that?
talk to you about that. Luke, you go.
Oh well, look. Yeah, because Gabby, you've obviously gone from acting, performing, doing the hustle, and now you're working with children. What's that like? How was that transition?
Why?
And
What?
I just want to know how it happened.
All right.
Why?
What was the?
And are you fulfilled? I want to know if you're a happy woman.
Are you fulfilled, Gabby? Fulfilled.
Don't you
I
just love children?
do you know 30 Rock? Are you fans of 30 Rock? So that happened because, like we spoke about before, the industry changed. The money went elsewhere. There's really not a big audience in Australia. There's just not. So the trip overseas is what you need to do. You need to be smart to do that. And I wasn't smart yet. But I gave it a crack, like I did the Julia Gillard stuff.
Which is hilarious, by the way. Can I intersect there for a second? How did you get that voice so spot on? Like, even the cadences, the pauses are like dead set eerily. Like, I closed my eyes and I was like, Julia's in the room.
Well, I don't know. I suppose it's the full frontal training, and you just embody that person. Like, you'd put in that choice matrix, like I said, like a computer program. And then you do it and you practice it and you fail at it and you ruin some chances but make others, and also have fun with it. Like, to go to Parliament House dressed as Julia Gillard and walk around and meet the Chinese visitors.
Look, I am down here in Beaconsfield visiting Brant Webb because he knows all about undermining.
Oh dear. I'm sure some very confused tourists are going,
I just loved it. And then what blew my mind was there's a hall of prime ministers, or a room of prime minister portraits, and then and they're all in sequence. And so it went John Howard, and then was it Kevin Rudd after him?
Yeah, I think
and
so.
then so it went Paul Keating. Yeah, we had Paul Keating, and then we had what's his name, and Thingamy-Bob. But then where the image of Julia would go, there was a door. Like, there was a door, and I imagined it like would spin around and just change prime ministers. And so I got my photo tape. Well, got some video of it going, this prime minister, and me going, this prime minister.
It's like the perfect match of prime ministers.
Yeah, it was kind of like bad feng shui for prime ministers, that spot.
Poor Julia. The writing was literally on the door for her. That's upsetting.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Exit. But
stage left.
I also felt like I was on her side. Like, I felt like I could say some things that maybe she would like to say but couldn't. Or
because it wasn't a cruel parody. It was a parody, like, it was.
Yeah, you just
sometimes I can get a bit nasty. It's like
like it's kind of a comedy trick of extending an idea, so moving Australia forward, and then where to? Closer to Antarctica. Why? Well, that's for many reasons. And then one is to fool the people smugglers, because they can't bring people here if we moved. And the other is
not okay.
is to save us from global warming. And as you've noticed, the temperature has dropped. You're welcome.
It's creepy. I love it.
Just people taking credit for weather. It wasn't at her. It was like,
just, it's good fun.
I described it as an unreal Australia with people like you Steve, and you, Luke, and you, Chin Woman.
Chin Woman. Oh, hello, that's me.
Sorry. Who are unreal.
I'm like,
unreal.
my eyes are up here. Stop looking at my kids. Okay, stop it. My eyes are up here.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Wow. I'm like, I feel violated, Gabby. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So the oldest showbiz adage is never work with children and animals. And
yeah, you know why they say that?
Do both.
But you know why they say that?
Why?
Because they don't want you to be happy. Yeah.
Do you still work with ducks and chickens and children?
I sure do. And we've been teaching Ngunnawal language. I love that you're showing this. We've been teaching Ngunnawal language. So the Ngunnawal word for fire is can be, and the Ngunnawal word for smoke is Muriel. So when the smoke got in my eyes, just for laughs and, amuse my co-workers, I'd go, oh, you're terrible, Muriel. And then the kids started saying it. That's how you teach languages, you use it.
It is, it's great.
Yeah, in context. Like, you use it in context. Like, when you think about everything you learn as a lecture, when you just one person standing in front of an audience doing PowerPoint or whatever, it really... sorry, I lost my train of thought.
You're putting this knowledge in their hands and showing them how it works.
Yeah, so you're being
with their everyday life.
You're being told about the world out of context, is what I'm saying in traditional schooling. But the way to really embed ideas is just let children do it out in nature, lift rocks, and anyway, I could talk for hours about that. But yeah, it's really important that children, especially at this time of like shortages and supply chains and if they can take home a bean or an egg or something that they have grown, like how good's that going to make you feel, and how confident are you going to be? And then you're going to be knowledgeable about how to save the planet and deal with the climate crisis they're inheriting. I'm really seriously advocating for children's access to nature and early learning settings.
As you said, it puts them in a context, because kids at that age don't understand or don't necessarily understand there's a bigger world around them, and you have to explain that doing this is because of this and
Yeah.
Having animals and putting them in context with the supply of food, or using native Australian language and informing them that yes, there were people here before us. The stuff that they don't necessarily learn until school is such a refreshing thing. I'm thinking back to that never happened when I was at like preschool. It was like, don't hit each other with a block.
It's a new big survival tool, and it's a new big thing. Get on board, everyone, because it's coming. Children's access to nature's got to happen, and being given help to transition from old-fashioned to nature play. And so what's important to me is that I actually give children access to nature, not just talk about it.
Yeah.
So
I remember when I was at school.
It's amazing.
I remember when I was at school, they made us, or it was part of the lesson plan, is that we all had to plant a tree, because it was a brand new development school and there was no green life, so we all had to plant a tree. And it was very interesting that I went there in year 4 and we all looked after our trees every day for those 2 years, because we put them in the ground and we were responsible for caring for them and making sure they grew and all that kind of stuff. It's like you give them these tools and it'll help them later on.
But people don't know how to give them the tools because they never learnt it themselves. So it's a bit of a scary transition for some people. But it can be done. And, at our service, it's been an experiment in how children will respond to actually having access to the things that they are growing. And if you can teach them about why we're looking after it, will they? And they do. Like, we harvested 100 ears of corn one year. Like, and they were just pulling them off outside, picking, eating them, going, I want more, Miss Gabby. And then parents come and go, how do you make them eat vegetables? While we're talking to that parent, the child is reaching down, pulling a green thing, for a leaf from something it's interested in, and starts eating it. So it's respecting that children are actually have agency, capacity, ability to choose. And people don't understand children. They don't understand their developmental needs and see certain behaviours as bullying. But what's bullying inside is actually a kid wanting to push and pull, and he's got these urges to do these things, and my friend's the only thing I can do that on. Whereas if they've got rocks and logs and trees and or digging and, you know,
they've got actual freedoms. Yeah.
Well,
ability to make choices.
Learn and different ways to experience the world, You may not be a mathematician, but you can go outside and put your hands in the earth and grow something.
And by doing that, realize that you can regulate your emotions and aren't dependent on pharmaceuticals down the track.
Oh, look, pharmaceuticals can help. Let's be honest. Let's
highly
not
recommend them.
For adults.
However, they will be an old-fashioned thing in 20 years because children will know how to regulate their emotions and how to reach out and be part of a community. So they do have good mental health. They know how to work in teams and belong, and they've got social skills. So they're not going to be alone in a flat in Darlinghurst going, who am I? Why am I here? You know, of course you're going to do that because no one's telling you you're not connected.
It's kind of like we have to go backwards to go forwards. We have to let these kids outside with a can of baked beans and a stick, and then not let them back in for a couple of hours until they've figured out, you know, how
but
to.
Let them actually feel community again too. Like, you know, I think we're at an age where everyone's very, you know, there's this big push back in our day to be independent and this and that. And I think, you know, we sort of forgot what community meant. And I think that's a big thing for kids, is that it should be, you know, everyone does their part and plays their part in a group and in the community. And that's how we thrive.
Oh, my God.
We need each other. We need you, Gabby. We need you.
But, yeah, I was just saying that the other day to my neighbours. It's like, we got to be good to each other because we're in an apocalypse and we need each other.
But you want to go back to those days where your best friends were the kids across the street, the kids next door, and the kids over the fence, and you came in at, you know, the lights on the street came on, and you had to go back home. Like that was a good way of learning. I grew up in a bushy kind of area. You'd go off into the bush for all day and then come back covered in something.
And people do that, but just because of financial situation and what's going to happen to people and their living and their stress about that, and then their children are soaking that in. If they go to a service where they can connect and contribute, then we're setting them up for success in the future. You know, whatever that looks like. Because you're going to need to collaborate and work together. We're going to have to, you know, we've expanded as a society out as far as we can. We need to come back to a little bit more local, I think. And it goes through phases, you know, everything goes through phases. But this is like the 2019 bushfires here. There was smoke, like it looked like a curtain had come down on a play. Like you could not see out your front window, and it was like, oh, they're changing the set. It really feels like they're changing the set, and the set's being changed like massively because things have come to a finale, and now we've got to change or else. Like we never make a real change unless we're, you know, the alternative is worse.
To take it into a TV analogy, you're threatened with cancellation, so you've got to, find a new storyline. How do we evolve? How do we change and keep our viewership alive?
Well, that's what I'll be teaching but that's what I'll be teaching this semester is today I got a globe of the world from a place where people drop off their secondhand goods and people can buy them back. Well, for community groups, they give free items, and sometimes I go in there to get things. And there's just this globe that should have been on a thing where it spun, but it was like a ball. And I was like, oh, I'll just grab that. Then I gave it to the children to play with, and it cracked. It they broke it. And I said, what happened? And he goes, no, it just broke. And I'm like, well, don't worry, we'll work out how to fix the world next week. How about that?
Oh, I love that.
It was so like life poetry. And I went, that's what I'm going to teach them. Like, what is the world? Why do we want to fix it? How do we do that? And see what they think. What could we do? From what they know, what could we do? And we already do it. Like, how do we create really good soil to grow our crops? Oh, well, we have compost. And where do we do that? And they know a lot, and they're so capable. And I just wish everybody knew how capable children are. So I've been lucky enough for the parents and my boss to let me film for the last 6 years. So I'm filming children take a shovel and put it into dirt and then take it to a wheelbarrow. And he's still in the infant's room. Like, how would you know he was capable of that unless you gave him access to nature and saw what they would do with it? And each child's interaction with nature is going to be very personal. Like, it's called the third teacher for a reason. In that they're going to be learning, exploring. Like, I came up into the top yard where the older children have access to winter greens to pick and eat. And they all had green tongues, and they were just going around trying things, going, I don't like it. Do you like it? Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like it too. Like, and no one's going, eat your lettuce. Eat it. Like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what it's from. I don't know what that square orange thing is, because I play with things like that. And then you tell me don't eat that. And now you're telling me to eat that.
The drama of life.
Oh, well, it's a beautiful thing.
It is. And if you want to check out more of that, Gabby has all of this stuff on her YouTube channel. There's some great hand washing songs, which were very, very useful, I'm sure, during COVID.
Yeah,
you did the right thing. So if you are more interested in what Gabby is doing with nature play and all that kind of stuff, please check out her YouTube.
Oh, great.
I'm sure that
parent.
they would love it.
Can I talk to them? Can I talk to the parents?
You can talk to the parents.
Oh, my God. I've been waiting to talk to you for so long. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. I thought long and hard about how we give children more access to nature in early learning settings. And it's parents. It's parents going in and looking, what does this service offer my child as to access to nature? Are there sticks? Are there rocks? Do they have access to a rock or a log they can turn over and find a worm? Can they dig? Can they test their agency? Like, would you like to be there? Have they got animals? Like, ask for those things and say, my child deserves them. It deserves them. It's their human right. It actually is. It's in
That's
the
so
United
amazing
Nations.
you say that, Gabby. That's the exact reason I sent when my daughter was at kindy. The kindy I chose was because it was actually part of the gardens here, which is all nature. It's next to a lagoon. There's animals there. And she got to do that every day. Like other places, they would go on excursions. Excursions were every day there. They would go and be in nature.
That's right.
And it was
And
it was amazing. You know, they would grow fruit, and it was very She
And
was
be nourished.
very happy there. Yeah.
Be nourished by your effort. It's good on you. Oh, and she's a together young lady. Yes, she is. She's like
As together as a 5-year-old can be, you know.
It's no matter
how mercurial they want your terrible Muriel.
Oh
Gabby,
dear.
we have to say a huge thank you for your time tonight. You've
Thank you.
entertained one generation. You're educating the next generation. You're, a woman who does it all, and we are so, so grateful for your time.
And Gabby, can I just say you're a bloody
We are
legend, mate.
immaculate. Thank you. You too.
You're a legend.
We're all gonna-
Look,
Let's do
I've
this again sometime.
I would love
I'd
it.
like to hang out with you again on another Friday.
Say you're terrible, oh you're wonderful, feel we've always been friends.
Gabby, thank you so much.
Thank you, Gabby.
It's been a dream.
You're a legend,
Thank you so much.
She's walking off. Gabby, don't go. Gabs.